Hey guys, it's Alyssa Marie, your intuitive reader, and welcome to another Pick a Card Your Week Ahead reading. So before we get started, if you guys are interested in a personal reading with me or buying crystals, there's a link to my Etsy. There's also a new Facebook page in which we are going to have crystal live sales, which will be the same crystals that are on the Etsy, but with a discount, and also giveaways. So please feel free to like that page and to look at the links down below. So we have 3 piles today. We have pile 1, 2, and 3. Each of these crystal skulls that you see are currently available in my shop. Pile number 1 is a tiger's eye skull. Pile number 2 is an opalite skull. I can't let it to focus. There we go. Opalite skull. And pile number 3 is a red mahogany skull. So feel free to take as much time as you need to choose. And this is going to be your week ahead reading. All right, if you chose pile number 1 with this beautiful tiger's eye skull, know that this little guy is available on my Etsy shop. But let's go ahead and see what your week ahead looks like. One second, fix my chair. Okay. The first card you have is, when I connect to the spiritual realm, I open the door to receive divine guidance, clear direction, and great wisdom. Next, peace. Next, Mars with action. And lastly, detox time. Release toxins from your body, mind, and diet. Okay, let me just center everything here. Okay, make everything in focus for you guys. Okay, so pile number 1. Your week, okay, your crown chakra, I feel, is open most of the time, is very open. But in particular this week, you're going to be receiving a lot of information through your crown chakra in the form of light codes, okay? And what these light codes are is they're going to activate certain things within you. And you're going to have instantaneous shifts of thought or behavior, okay? And I've explained this before in videos, but what's going to happen this week is you might get a new idea about something, kind of like an epiphany. Like you're like, oh my gosh, I want to try that out. Or, oh my gosh, I want to change my diet, or I want to move there, or I want to quit my job. You're going to have these really quick, and it's just going to be like a claircognizant thing. It's going to be a knowing, okay? I feel that that's going to happen this week, at least once, okay? And I want you to pay attention to those, because those are coming from higher dimensions. They're coming from your higher self, and also directly from your spirit guides. I think you know this already, and you do connect to the spiritual realm, to higher dimensions and higher frequencies, but Spirit is telling me you should do it even more than you do already, okay? There's a lot of lessons and information to be had. I also feel this week with peace. I think that these messages are going to bring you a form of peace, okay? And sometimes you'll even get claircognizant messages regarding physical things. So for instance, connections, jobs, things like that. Like you might have this claircognizant message about like, okay, it's time for me to let go of this person. Or, okay, it's going to be very quick. And I think those thoughts are going to bring you peace. Also, truth might be had through these claircognizant thoughts. But it's definitely actually quite a peaceful week, which is interesting because peace is next to action, which action, when you think of Mars action, it's kind of not peaceful. It's more aggressive. It's more in your face. But what's interesting is I think that in order to get to this Mars action in the week, you do need a form of inner peace. And I really do think you are going to have that this week. I think maybe, the last couple weeks, or since the beginning of the year, you might have been feeling a little bit overwhelmed with life, overwhelmed with things, right? This is a general reading, so we can't get too specific, but I do feel this sense of this week, which is wonderful, like a great sigh. I feel the need to do that, which is good. Okay. And then next, like I said, we have Mars action. So it's peaceful in the sense of emotions, but I still think that there is going to be a desire to act on something or someone or some situation. And it might be from these messages coming through. It does not have to be. But somehow there's going to be a need for action. Okay. And I want you to be a little bit more spontaneous than you usually are with Mars, okay? Be a little bit more courageous. And, if you're asked to go somewhere or somebody asks, just, as long as it's, of course, safe and positive, if somebody asks you, go ahead and step out of your comfort zone this week and do something different. Also, this would be a great week if you want to start a project, start any type of goal. Now is the time with Mars coming through with action. Now is the time. You also have detox time. So it says release toxins from your body, mind, and diet. So I do feel, pile number one, that maybe a lot of times you weren't feeling peace before this week, maybe because of self-doubt, wondering if the messages you're receiving are really there, wondering what your life purpose is, wondering, what should I do? What is the point of this incarnation? Kind of questions like that, big questions, but also little questions. I think that now that you're going to finally come into this peaceful mind, and you're going to go for what you want this week and be a little bit more spontaneous, I also think you are going to naturally kind of gravitate away from connections. I don't feel like this card does not mention connections, but I want to put that out there. I actually don't think that you're going to actually have to end the connections. I think they're going to just fall away. And even if you think the connection is positive, if they do fall away, just know that it is time, and that is what, your soul contract stated. That is what you wanted. That is what spirit wanted. So, it doesn't mean necessarily when a connection falls away that one person is toxic. It just means that we've learned our lessons, we can move on. So that might be happening now and in the next couple of weeks, where you find that maybe people that you used to talk to, you don't talk to as much, and the friendship kind of fades. And that's just because I think you're outgrowing each other. You're on different paths. Okay. So I don't think it's necessarily a negative thing. It might feel it, but I don't think it is. Also this week though, really try to pay attention to how you're talking to yourself, self-talk and self-love, to remain peaceful in the mind, because I feel group number one, you probably are sometimes having that little voice in your head that's like, you can't do this, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. We all have that. Or, I'm ugly, I'm this, I'm that, stupid stuff, right? But that we think to ourselves, really try to contain that, because that is toxic. Also, maybe this week focus a little bit more on eating healthier, eating things more in moderation. I'm never going to be like, okay, you can't have the cake, you can't have because no, of course you can have the cake, you can have whatever you want. But Spirit is telling me it would be good maybe this week to moderate a little bit more, okay, and focus on foods relating to the rainbow as they coordinate with your chakra, with self-esteem. That's good. Yellow colored foods, with the throat chakra, blue, the crown, purple, and etc. Also, I think with this card, also being able to exercise a little bit more this week, even if it's just, walking around your apartment. Sometimes, like, it was very, very cold last week here in Nebraska, extremely cold. And I wasn't going to walk outside. Sorry. So, even if you just walk around your apartment in a circle just for a little bit, it really does help your mental standpoint too. Spirit is telling me for you to go ahead and do that, or just do some yoga, some stretching, anything like that this week. So it looks like an exciting week for you guys, pile number one. That is what I have for you today. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye. Okay, this is for pile number 2. If you chose pile number 2, this is the opalite skull that you chose. Know that all of the crystals here are available in my shop, except for this one. All the skulls are. So let's go ahead and see what is in your week ahead. First off, you have, my true safety lies in my capacity to align with the love of the universe. Yes, beautiful. Next, you have home. I love that image. So pretty, so relaxing. And then you have recognition. You and your accomplishments are receiving appreciation and honors. And then lastly, you have 8th house with intimacy. Okay, pile number 2. Interesting week for you guys. I'm having several messages come through here. Let me just see. First message that's coming through is about love this week, okay? It's about aligning yourself with love. It's about doing the right thing. It's about loving yourself, loving others, and just trying to outpour love as much as you can, okay? And when you align with that loving mindset, a lot of blessings are going to come to you, okay? And know that you're also very protected. Trust that you are protected. I definitely feel a team of angels, a team of spirit guides, whether those be passed on loved ones, ancestors, star beings, etc., that are around you and that they are there for you and that the universe is there for you. And everything that is, for the most part, is meant to be, and everything that was is no longer meant to be, okay? So just remember that this week. Also, we have home, okay? So this week, it would be very, you might already be traveling home for the week, but if not, it would be good to visit your home, okay? Like, for instance, if you're, close, if you're close enough to visit your parents or your grandparents or your friends, somewhere where you grew up, it would be a great week to do that, okay? Or maybe if you were traveling, you're returning home this week. I do feel a sense of relaxation here with home. I think it's very comforting, and that's a wonderful card to get. Now, you also have recognition. Recognitions talks about, right, receiving recognition. So if you are employed, you might end up getting a promotion, okay? You might end up just getting kind of called out in a positive way for your duties. Like you might be like, hey, your boss might be like, you're doing really good at this, or your coworker. If you're self-employed, you might have an increase in sales or good reviews. If you go to school, I feel like this week you're probably going to get your teacher saying you did a very good job on something, your professor giving you a good grade on an assignment or something like that. But you're going to feel all the work that you've been putting into whatever goals you have. Even if none of those apply to you, there is going to be a sense of recognition, even if that's self-recognition. So, you're like, hey, I'm so proud of myself. You know what? I used to be able, like, that's a weird thing to say. Hell no, it isn't. Hell no. I have been saying that recently to myself. I'm like, you know what, Alyssa? I am proud of myself. I am proud of you, Alyssa, because you should be proud of yourself. You don't need someone else to tell you that that you should be proud. And you guys, I know it sounds like you might be like, that's weird, or I used to think that, but it's like, no, it's not. You need to love yourself, and you need to pat yourself on the back and be like, yes, you did wonderful, okay? So if you feel like nobody is going to say anything like that to you, just know right now I am telling you, I recognize what you have done. I recognize all the work you have put in, and I am proud of you, okay? Even though I know it's going to show up another way anyway. So that is coming through. You also have the 8th house with intimacy. So I do feel that there is a form of intimacy this week with someone in an intimate connection, or at least the start of an intimate connection. So when I say intimate, I guess mainly I am referring to romantic connections, love interests. So if you're with someone, I feel it's going to be a great week to further your connection. If you're not with someone, I think this week you might be talking to somebody new, or furthering like a friendship, and maybe that friendship will turn to romance later down the line. But there is a sense of that. 8th house talks about intimacy, but it does talk about other things as well. So for instance, it also talks about just intensity. So I think that actually, for some of you, I feel like with this intimacy card and this love connection, I think maybe that intimate connection is going to open your eyes more to just love in general. But I feel that this week is actually going to be like a relief kind of week, okay? Like I feel like things have been pretty intense for you. I just am getting this feeling. And just know that this week you are going to be really feeling rewarded, really feeling recognized, really feeling like you have done your part, and you have done your part, okay? So that is what I have for you. Short one this week, but that is what I have for you, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. All right, if you chose pile number 3 with this beautiful red mahogany skull, if you're interested in this skull is available for purchase down below in my Etsy, but let's go ahead and get into your reading for your week ahead. All right, pile 3, what do we have today? First off, we have appreciation dissolves all blocks to the presence of my super attractor power. Yes, 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 yes. We will get into that. We also have courage. Beautiful lion here. Could have a connection to the lion spirit, to the Lyrins as well. Don't have to though. Next we have let go. Release the desire to control the situation and leave it up to God's infinite wisdom to resolve everything beautifully. Okay, you can. I say this on every video, but I do it on purpose. Feel free to replace the word God with universe, source, etc. Okay, so I say that because I know some people get triggered by this word. Some people don't, but I like to put that out there, okay? So next, we have 7th house with relating. Okay, you and pile 3, both about love this week, okay? So, or excuse me, you and pile 2. So let's go ahead and get into this. First off, let's start with the appreciation card. Isn't that a pretty card? So with that card, I think pile 3, it is time to count your blessings. Now, nobody really likes to hear that because they're like, hey, I am appreciative. And like we all, like even if you think you're appreciative, we can all really be more appreciative, right? So I feel, even just being happy with the things how they are. Like, I mean, sometimes I'm just going to say it again. I know I freaking talk about this so much, but there is a documentary on Netflix called A Lion in the House. I have watched it a few weeks ago. Maybe it was more than a few weeks ago. It was so emotional. And I will never, ever, I don't think in my entire life, forget that documentary. It was just so raw, and heads up, it's about kids with cancer. Okay. But I know that that's taking it to the extreme, but when you watch that, you really think to yourself, what the hell am I complaining about? Okay. Seriously. But anyways, I get emotional thinking about that documentary. Like seriously, that documentary is just, you gotta watch it. You just have to. And it's a 2-part documentary. It's kind of long, but please, it will change your life. Okay. Anyways. So even when it's like, the fact that you wake up and you're not in pain, that's something to be appreciative of. The fact that you have clean water, the fact that you have food in the fridge, the fact that you're in a warm house or apartment, the fact that you have a car to get places, the fact that you have a bed to sleep on, some of those things, because some of people do not have that, a lot of people do not have that. And, I think it's important to realize that a lot of things we have, we should appreciate even more. Now, also appreciating our current circumstance helps us attract more things, or abundance, I should say, instead of things. Because abundance can be in the form of things. It can be in the form of money, but it also can be in the form of love, compassion, friendship, all those things. Now, if we're happy and vibrating at the highest light quotient of gratitude, okay, we are going to attract positive outcomes, positive vibes to us. If we aren't appreciative and we're not very grateful of things and we're like, oh, this sucks, that sucks, it is going to lower our vibration, and it's going to pull things that we don't not necessarily want towards us with courage this week, okay? I think the fact that this is by let go, this is telling me be courageous and let go of this thing. This thing could be a job, a person, it could go on and on, but you know what I mean. There's something here that needs to be released. There's something that I feel that you still are holding on to, whether, like I said, it's a connection, a job, a circumstance, whatever it is that you're holding on to. Feel like it's been a while. It's time to let go. It's time to release. This is another sign from the universe. Let go, let go. If you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe it will come up this week again, and let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. All right. Because seventh house is next to let go, I feel like maybe there is a connection that you need to let go of. And for some of you, this is true. Some of you, this is a friend, or some of you, this is an ex or a current partner, or, some sort of connection. For others of you, though, this is telling me you could be letting go of some particular person, but then you're coming into a new connection. I think that's probably the most of you. You're letting go of a connection, letting go of a thing, and you're letting go, understanding, accepting, and moving into this. Now, with this, if you're in a relationship, you are going to be strengthening that relationship, whether that be a romantic relationship or a friendship. You're going to be strengthening it with the seventh house. Okay. If you are single, I do feel you're going to strengthen your connection with someone this week, whether that be a platonic relationship or a romantic relationship. And for others of you, you might meet somebody new. You might come in contact with somebody new, and you might start hitting it off with them and getting to know them more. But there's a big emphasis here on relationships, and there's a big emphasis on letting go. Okay, so that is all I have for you. Kind of a short one this week because I didn't use any tarot, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.